Hey there, it's Mike Metcalf again here with Lanark Equipment to talk to you today about Kubota's K008-5 under 1 ton excavator. Certainly this is not a machine that's going to be for everybody. It's a very, very niche market, and we're going to get into the details as to who this is for, but one thing I can say for sure, it certainly beats the heck out of using a regular shovel. So who this is for, again, is going to be kind of niche. It is a very specialized piece of equipment, but it still has a lot of applications. I know personally guys that can fold the roll bar down, narrow the tracks in, and take it down a set of stairs to do foundation work inside someone's basement. Maybe you're doing outside foundation work for waterproofing, things like that. And again, it certainly beats the heck out of a shovel, being able to dig down right beside a foundation and do that work. Maybe you're an electrical operator and you need to put in a whole lot of electrical line or water line, anything like that, where you don't necessarily need a massive trench, but you need to get the trench done and you need to get down below frost. This is certainly going to be able to do that in spades. It is definitely going to replace that actual shovel work and give you a hydraulic version of that, so you can save your back and go that extra mile and do that extra work. Right here at the front end, obviously we don't have a massive bucket. I think this one here is about 12 inches and the trenching bucket is about 10. So again, we're not doing big massive work with this sucker, but you can still take out some small stumps, small bushes, clean up fence lines, things like that. It doesn't come standard with a receiver to take a thumb, but that doesn't mean we can't put one on there. Certainly we can look at aftermarket to putting a thumb on there, but it is pre-plumbed for hydraulics, and you can get a Kubota breaker for this. So if you're trying to make those small rocks smaller, this sucker will do it. But again, if you're doing that foundation work, maybe doing some interior waterproofing, throwing that breaker on is going to replace that sledgehammer work. I've done that sledgehammer work and I don't want to go back to it. Certainly I'd much rather have this with a breaker on it and open up somebody's floor for that plumbing work with something like this, rather than my 42-year-old back. So this is going to save your back. It's going to replace the shovel. It's going to replace the sledgehammer for you and get into those really tight spots. It's a small package that can make itself smaller by narrowing the tracks and narrowing the blade to get down into that 3 feet range and be able to get into those really, really tight spots. So again, even though it's a small package, it's small but mighty. So don't be hesitant to talk to your rep to find out if something like this can work for you. Recently, I actually had a customer who bought a unit like this rather than buying the Kubota BX23S. They didn't necessarily need the extra versatility that a TLB would offer them. They just really wanted an efficient digger, and this was the guy that fit that bill for them. It was the right price, the right size. It was not intimidating for somebody who's not used to running an excavator. So certainly it's something that the average homeowner can jump on with confidence and get that work done. And it's certainly a feature-rich little powerhouse as we move back towards the cab. All right, so I'm in the operator platform here, and there's a couple kind of neat things I'd like to point out. First and foremost, there's actually a horn button right on top of one of your controls. So if you need to get the attention of one of the guys you're working with or something like that, a quick little button press and you've got your horn rocking. So it's kind of a cool place for that. When you're dealing with a platform that doesn't have a ton of room, you get creative. So right there, you've got complete control of not only your excavator controls, but you've got your horn there to get someone's attention as well. There's a safety lockout on the far side here that you're gonna have engaged before you start, and that just locks the hydraulics so the machine knows that everything's safe before you fire it up. And there's also a dual control here. This control is going to lift and lower your blade, but with a flip of the switch over here, now this is turned into the control which is going to extend or retract the width of your tracks. And I don't know the exact specs off the top of my head. I'm not the best with numbers, but guaranteed whether they're out or in, you're gonna get into every tight spot you can think of. I do believe it comes in under 3 feet when you've got them narrowed in. So again, you're gonna get into really, really tight spots without any issue. Now, even though this is a K series machine, which means that it is a conditional turn, the counterweight does go past the width of the tracks. It only goes past very minimally. So again, if you can fit with the tracks in, you're darn good chance that you're going to be able to spin in that area too without any issues. The other thing that's kind of nice here for operator fatigue is you got these highway pegs up here. So when you're operating the machine, you can be in a nice relaxed position. I can still reach the controls without issue, and it's very, very comfortable. You've got your swing control, which is going to allow you to pivot right from the cab portion. So if you need to dig up next to something like a foundation, I can swing that right from there. On the left side, I've got a 2-speed control. So when you really want to rip along at those highway speeds, you press your 2-speed down and you've got that. And as well as I've got my hydraulic control for the pre-plumbed hydraulics. So again, for a very, very small package, you've got lots of features. It is switchable between A and B style pattern. So if you're more comfortable with what would be called backhoe controls, you can easily switch that. This is currently set up with excavator controls, but you've got that ability to switch back and forth if you're running with different operators or people that are coming from different machines and experiences in the past. We can make sure that we can make it comfortable for them. It is a very comfortable seat. Obviously, I've got visibility for miles and days, so no problem there. And we do also have a fold down rollover protection structure. So that will give us the ability that, again, if we need to get either under something low, or if you are taking it down into a basement or something like that to do that foundation work, we can bring that clearance down and get that access. So with this machine, it only comes with one track option. They're a very aggressive track, so it's going to give you lots of traction while still maintaining your flotation. So you're going to be able to get to places with traction without tearing things up. So that's one of the beauty parts about having a track system. The other thing that we want to point out as well is with your dozer blade, these little panels come off the side. So when you bring those tracks in, you also narrow the blade. So you've got protection on the tracks and you know your width. You extend the tracks, you put your blades back out, and again, you completely cover that track system for protection and getting that job done. So it's very easy to switch between both. And the other thing that's kind of neat is the access here for your engine opens backwards. So it's like a suicide hood, really, that it opens from the front to the back. Nice 3-cylinder Kubota diesel in there. Very, very strong powerhouse in a really small space, but everything that you need for service is easy to get at. You've got your overflow down here, oil up on top, battery right there at the back. Everything that you're going to need access to on a daily, weekly, monthly basis is really easy to access. You don't have to remove any other panels to do it. So you can keep your maintenance up, keep your productivity up, and keep your downtime to an absolute minimum. All right, so I know that this has been a shorter video. There is not a whole lot to go over on a small excavator like this. Again, it is a very niche market, but when you need a machine like this is the best one to have. It does a lot of that replacement of the shovel work. It replaces the sledgehammer work, and certainly is going to save your back. So if you have any questions on that, please don't hesitate to give us a call. You can reach us at 613-264-0485, or better yet, come on down and see us here at 6253 Highway 43 in Perth, just between Perth and Smiths Falls. If you have any questions on the video, or you'd like to see more, or you have a suggestion of something you'd like to see, leave it in the comments down below. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.